right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another exciting week of PMA LCS action. This time it's going to be Don't Ban Poppy versus Uno Truco Demonicos, and the sultry sounds on the casting crew that you hear today, coming at you live with the play-by-play. It's going to be your boy Christopher Vitadis Packet coming at you with this color casting. Is going to be the one, the only Michael Legends MK Carrick. And on the Stream Monkey deck, my boy Joystick over here. So, Legends, how you doing today?
Dude, fine. Can't wait to see this game that we're about to have in front of us. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. I feel like this is a really important matchup this week. Yeah, we got Don't Ban Poppy up here, very high in the standings, tied for second right now, I believe, versus UTD. And UTD, one of those teams that is currently in the mid-tier bubble right now, and is perhaps looking to see if they can break up into the upper echelon of teams with something like a 2-0 victory here tonight.
Yeah, and especially with both teams coming at it with extraordinary varying play styles, especially on who their carries are and how flexible their members are. I'm excited to see what each team decides to bring to the table tonight.
Speaking of different roles and different matchups, what do you think the focus is going to be on terms of matchups and players tonight?
I think a big factor is going to be where DBP decides to slot Jaundice. I think oftentimes enough they focus on Jaundice to carry their games for them if Frontlash can't get on one of his carry junglers. So if they really see Maya as a jungler threat, as I do, then maybe we'll get to see Jaundice jungle tonight.
I think that's absolutely a possibility. And looking at the side of Don't Ban Poppy right now, I think the big impact factor for Don't Ban Poppy has to be Jaundice. Very flexible player. Well, I wouldn't say the first thing that comes to mind is perhaps, shot caller. He's a very consistent player. He can play pretty much any champion he wants at a high level. You can flex him like the better part of 3 roles and he'll do what he wants. So in combination with that Jaundice, Jaundice flexing, yeah, you're exactly right. Wherever Jaundice goes is going to be a very important factor in this match tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to see if Don't Ban Poppy is going to rely on their, good old reliables. As some of their players have some consistent champion play. Like Guy Fieri is just exceptional on that Scion, and we have Frontlash on that Poppy or Vi. So I want to see if they're going to rehash what they know and perfect it, or if they're going to bring something new to the table tonight.
Oh yeah, baby, the all reliable. Jaundice knows what I'm talking about.
Bring something new.
Shout out to Jaundice, by the way. Anyway, on the side of UTD, I think the big impact factor for them today is going to be their jungle side, Maye. Maye, super aggressive player. I think super interesting jungler overall to watch. Has the highest counter jungle rating in the league, which I hate him for that, by the way. Second highest. Feels bad I lost it this week. I'm tilted. But anyway, I think he's got a real... I think he has a really high impact on games, and one of the things that's interesting as a result of is that counter jungle rating manifests as a result of his extremely interesting pathing, you see. I think he has a case of what we would call Meteor's pathing, where you look at it on paper and it doesn't look optimal, but he knows how to play the map and get the advantages he wants in a lot of places, and it turns out very advantageous for him in the long run.
I don't think you could have said it any better. Honestly, and in addition to the fact that Maya has such a sublime Kindred under his belt, and a lot of people just don't know how to deal with Kindred's awkward pathing as she goes back into your jungle repeatedly, he just takes advantage of that and snowballs the game into his favor. So I wonder if Don't Ban Poppy will respect that and just remove that factor completely tonight.
I mean, I think a Kindred ban could be well in the works, especially because Maya is no stranger to strange pathing, and nothing says strange pathing like a random mark popping up on the other side of their jungle. So perhaps that explains part of the reason why the counter jungle rating's so high. Gotta get those marks, man.
Yeah, perhaps. Another big factor coming out of UTD is Wheels on the Bus. Everybody in the Brotherhood knows that he plays a terrific Riven. But with him sitting down in the support role lately, pulling out those Lulu and Nami picks, I wonder if UTD decides to flex him around tonight.
I 100% think that flexing in general is a good option, and giving Wheels on the Bus a good Riven matchup, perhaps into one of Guy Fieri's picks could prove very advantageous for the success of their match. And click this pro draft real quick. Oh, piece of candy.
And what we were talking about moving Jaundice around to play against maybe in the jungle versus Mae, I don't think we should discount Hiromar on the side of Truco Demonios. His Xerath play has been on point these last few weeks, sometimes carrying throughout the mid game and securing late game objectives for his team just on his own.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Xerath has been traditionally a very scary pick for Hiromar, and in general, a PMA LCS classic, Xerath having a very strong matchup into the vast majority of control mages that we see typically being taken mid in the PMA LCS. So it's just a very consistent pick that helps you answer multiple weaknesses in most PMA LCS comps that are drafted. Speaking of champions, that Xerath is going to be hotly tested between Jaundice and Hiromar tonight, as both of them have games on it. What other champions do you think we'll see hotly contested tonight?
Well, both teams do play Scion, so with Guy Fieri always wanting to play that Scion, I wonder if UTD will first pick it away from them. And then, as of course, the classic Jarvan between both junglers, but I'm pretty sure Frontlash and Jaundice could play anything. And I could go on, but I think we're about to slide right into the picks and bans right now.
And, ooh. All right, starting off, don't ban Poppy showing here on the blue side. Let's see what they ban first. And it's going to be the Illaoi coming in, focusing Uncle Jemima right away. That Illaoi, a very strong power pick for Uncle Jemima typically, and they don't want Guy Fieri to have to play in.
I like that ban. A lot of players don't really know how to play into Illaoi, and so removing that, like I said earlier, we're just removing that uncomfortability factor, just like they would be playing against Kindred, is probably a good idea.
Is that their
yeah, that's their lost ban.
That's their lost ban.
Yeah.
Genius. So Teemo is quote unquote banned. XG. As a result of Hiromar not showing up perhaps the earliest today. And we see the Xerath ban coming out of Don't Ban Poppy, targeting immediately that Hiromar, and unfortunately, Don't Ban Poppy's namesake strikes again. Poppy's banned.
And as a classic, as we've seen Frontlash just utilize that Poppy to its ultimate capability. So smart move by UTD removing that chance.
El Clasico indeed. And speaking of El Clasico coming out, another El Clasico ban in the jungle role. Xin Zhao, very popular pick right now, and the Ezreal ban coming out of UTD is a response for Fudgy Ditters. Ezreal really popular, really power pick for Fudgy Ditters down in that bot lane, and we see the Urgot first pick coming out as well. So could you perhaps walk us through some of the Urgot changes in this patch and what makes him such a power pick now?
Yeah, I think such to the fact that a little while ago, Bright decided to break all of Urgot's knees, and as a response, they overbuffed him this patch, in my opinion, giving him his W the chance to become an auto turret at max rank. And then additionally, his ult at each rank has the same range as Nocturne's ultimate, relative to rank, of course. So Urgot becoming this crazy damage-dealing champion. Oh, and let's not forget, his E grants the shield now, but it scales at a 1.5 attack damage ratio in addition to a health scaling ratio, making him definitely an S tier pick now.
Wait, actually, who thought of that? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I don't know.
We see the Jarvan pick coming out here for UTD. So one of the picks has been we've seen around, not necessarily in these parts, but in general, has been that airy Jarvan. I don't think we'll see it here today. Can our local airy Jarvan expert explain some of the semantics behind this strange power pick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the fact that Maya plays Jarvan at a high level, but instead I'm going to give the stream the strength of the airy Jarvan. This spike triggers airy every time you're near the target. Person closest to it gets a free airy. Like, how busted is that? Plus, you can just constantly poke in lane. But we'll come back to this later as the picks just fly by.
Get the Elise being locked in for Don't Ban Poppy over here. We see the Caitlyn in response for UTD. Caitlyn, really, in general, decent blind pick into bottom lane. Have to be careful, though, and save that support matchup just in case they decide to pick something like a Sivir, something that can actually lane well against her. It's important for Caitlyn to get that lane pressure early on and be able to bully out that lane.
That's a big point, but I don't want to gloss over the fact that in patch 9.6, Caitlyn's ace in the hole did receive a 30% damage bump. So maybe they're taking advantage of this burst potential from Caitlyn at the end of fights.
You gotta love that 50 damage buff, dude. Riot looking out for Caitlyn once again.
Yeah. And before we forget about it, Hiramara does get his best champion with so many Anivia mains in the PMA LCS. I can't wait to see one on the big screen.
Ooh, baby, my body is ready. Speaking of that, oh, hold on. Wukong for Uncle Jemima being walked in here for UTD.
Yeah, as we strive away from the meta picks, we're seeing a really fun pick coming out of UTD with this Wukong set up to combo with the Jarvan and just an all-around team fight comp rounded out by this Anivia. I'm excited to see what they can do with this.
I am very excited to see what they can do with this as well. And with that Jarvan Wukong combo, team fighting them is going to be a scary proposition indeed. And with the Jarvan ult and the Anivia ult, so many terrain displacements running around here. But the pick I want to talk about here is this Ziggs for Don't Ban Poppy. Could we potentially be seeing that Ziggs going to Guy Fieri as he has been flexed mid lane before?
I have no doubt that Ziggs is going to Guy Fieri. When he's not on that Scion, he's a absolute monster on this Ziggs. He plays the lane well, and he roams constantly with those ults to secure kills in the side lanes. I can't wait to see what he brings tonight with it.
Speaking of flex picks, we have the Thresh walked in here for likely for Jaundice, as that's been a staple support champ. It's been a staple support champ for him for a while. What do you? Never mind.
I mean, I just want to bring the fact that I find myself with my foot in my mouth as they did not flex Jaundice against UTD's strongest players. Or maybe they think their bot lane is, and instead they put him on this incredible playmaking Thresh. It's going to be a great game to see.
It's gonna be spicy, but that Nautilus pick coming in last for UTD could spell trouble for that lane, as Thresh not necessarily having a fantastic matchup in the Nautilus's natural tankiness and free shield and Tristana getting poked out at range by Caitlyn. This Thresh might struggle a bit in laning phase, but I have no doubt with Geo's individual play that he'll be able to find roams and get crucial hooks to open up the map as we transition to the mid game.
Oh, undoubtedly. And before we slide past this, Nautilus did get a buff in 9.6 as well. His stun now is only on his auto attack stun is now only on a 6-second cooldown, allowing him to get a maximum, more commonly than not, 2 stuns per champion in a quick dual bottom lane.
Yeah, I remember seeing that now. It's like on paper it looks so underwhelming, but you look at what could actually result because of that buff, and suddenly it looks a whole lot better for that champion. And Nautilus, just known as a CC bot champion in general, getting that buff helps him out at doing his job way more than you might think it does.
Absolutely. And UTD coming forward, rounding out that team with Nautilus means they do want these team fights. They want to sit together as 5v5 and just fight the fight all the way through. With good disengage and engage, I can see how this is going to be a scary attempt from UTD.
But most important, you know what's most important about that Nautilus pick, though?
What?
No Airy Jarvan.
Oh my! They missed the opportunity to use this
opportunity. Dude, I'm telling you. It's an insane pick. I'm telling you.
I can't believe they didn't see it coming. You never know. It could still be Nautilus jungle. We don't know yet. But as we see my pick it, it's unlikely.
But speaking of which, now we've actually determined the roles that Don't Ban Poppy have chosen. One of the matchups I want to focus on is this jungle matchup between Frontlash and Maye. This game is definitely could very much be a battle of mid jungle duos, as Guy Fieri no slouch on the Ziggs here, and Frontlash definitely in, I would say, the upper half of junglers during this split. And I think Frontlash was previously a top laner, was he not?
I believe so. But I think that's a good point you bring up between how this game is going to rotate. because both of these junglers are really comfortable playing early game. And to see how Frontlash can accommodate to Maie's odd jungle pathing, or if Maie can keep up with Lisa's early pressure, will likely define the early setting for this game.
I also think Frontlash in general has some of the more odd pathing in this LCS. So I think we have a battle of hard to predict pathing and massive early pressure coming out here. So we could easily see like efficiency being undermined, camps being given up just to get surprise ganks and good map advantages going throughout this early game. So it'll be very exciting to watch where these two junglers apply that early pressure.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned before, Guy Fieri's ability to roam with Frontlash, go to that bottom lane for ganks, whereas Anivia has the lowest base movement speed in the game, might give DBP an edge in these early fights.
We got the wave clear wars coming in mid and the early jungle pressure in spades coming out here. So I can't wait to see what happens going forward in this match.
Absolutely. And talking about the team comps as a whole, real quick, don't ban Poppy's team comp. While we mentioned that UTD has this team fight team comp, don't ban Poppy obviously has a very strong pick team comp with that death sentence and web coming out of Elise. So maybe they can just start these team fights off as 5v4 and roll from there.
That's definitely true. Just looking at Don't Ban Poppy's comp, I feel like they have a very holistic, jack of all trades style of comp here. Is you have these Ziggs and Tristana both capable of late game carry status due to the massive amount of damage they output, and the Urgot just a very consistent pick right now. Potentially could be seeing the new Conqueror busted out on that Urgot for some massive damage and in-fight sustainability, along with something like a Gargoyle Stoneplate. And that Elise very effective early game pressure, especially along with that Thresh. So they have a lot of pick options. I feel as though the one potential weakness of this comp is the lack of noticeable frontline. So going forward into these fights, they're going to have to start fights off as skirmishes or with a pick to make sure they don't get blown up by the massive ultimate wombo potential coming out of UTD.
Absolutely. And seeing as this is constructed 5v5 play, the chances of one team drastically snowballing the other team diminish crazily. So I wonder if in the option that they do go even or DPP fall behind. I have to wonder if Frontlash is going to opt to go become that front line so that her Tristana and her Ziggs can do this massive damage.
Going forward, I'm actually interested in to see where this Elise can apply pressure. I think one of the key parts to look at is going to be this mid lane matchup pre-6, as even though Ziggs doesn't necessarily drop a lot of damage out, especially before he gets points in his bouncing bomb. Anivia, very squishy, 325 base movement speed, and no escapability on her means it's very difficult to just dodge out Elise cocoons, and likely anytime he pushes up to get that wave control, Elise is going to come in with the gank from the side.
Absolutely, yeah. That definitely seems to be Elise's best gank path here, especially because all the other lanes have a way to get away. And before I forget, as we walk away from the fact that DPP doesn't have a front line, the fact that Urgot's shield scales 1.5 with AD now allows him to become this monster frontline while just building AD. Kind of like Riven when she was overstated. So perhaps they know how to take advantage of that already.
Yeah, 1.5 AD. That's actually insane. Who thought of that?
And don't forget the 0.25 health scaling as well.
Oh, genius. How could I have forgotten? So that way we pop the gargoyles and then just run at him with like a 1000 HP shield. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's balanced.
Really?
And I forgot to mention they took away the diminishing returns on Urgot's passive, so now you can take full damage from each knee. Good times.
Oh, baby. I can't wait, dude. Just shotgun me down in the streets, baby. I'm so excited.
What a great champion to see happen. From UTD, I wanted to see if Wukong is going to try to fight this Urgot in lane, traditionally known as a very bad matchup for Wukong. I wonder if he'll just try to clear the wave and then maybe put on that pressure onto Guy Fieri.
I'm actually very scared to see how this Wukong plays in laning phase. I don't know how he wins that lane on paper, honestly. Like, I genuinely think Symphonian I genuinely think Symphonian kind of has to make a boo-boo, or Maie has to come in with some early pressure to really shunt the laning phase towards Uncle Jemima's favor here. Speaking of which, though, the early game gank opportunities for this Jarvan looking pretty good. As top lane Urgot, not necessarily the best escape in the book. He does have that disdain though, which is very good. But Urgot, if he sleeps on his wave control, could very easily end up staying pushed up for all eternity and then just eat Jarvan ganks to the face. And also this Ziggs in
Is there a technical issue going on?
no, I don't think so. Are you still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know if I missed the thing, but anyway, so I was saying before is the Ziggs here in the mid with base 325 movement speed, just like the Anivia. Unlike Anivia, though, has the option to get out on that satchel charge, but playing into early game pressure junglers like Jarvan is just very strenuous when you're squishy and you have low movement speed.
Absolutely, and no stranger to early pressure. Maya definitely will take advantage of these lanes. And something else to bring up about the fact that Urgot pushing up, now that his shield is on his E, it actually has a longer cooldown since nobody will be maxing the E first. So he does have to pick and choose when he will use that shield, and more likely than not only get one instance of it during a gank.
We pause at 10.
Yeah. Paused.
Alright, I'm gonna assume our give 5 seconds to assume our streamer's good. And I will count us down now in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so getting into this game, I cannot wait to see where these lanes go. Do you think we could be seeing some level 1 shenanigans?
Yeah, definitely, with Nautilus hook, but it looks like Don't Ban Poppy is electing to go for the 5-point defense, while there is a small 3-man bush check by Uno Truco Demonios. So I can imagine.
Miramar having a party in that bush. You see that?
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe they thought they would catch somebody with Nautilus's base attack stun, but nothing comes out.
How do you even get in there with that dive suit, man? There's no way that works.
Yeah, but that's an odd one.
You know how it goes, man. It is 2019 after all.
It's true. Also, I hate the fact that Nautilus is like so small of a sprite when he's really just a massive submarine.
Actually, a gargantuan towering colossus of doom.
Yeah.
Kind of like Malphite. Malphite's literally like 46 feet tall.
Right, or Aurelion Soul's galaxy size.
Aurelion Soul's literally the size of, like, he gobbles planets in his mouth, dude. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath over here literally eats planets. Cho'Gath will devour entire planets until he...
At least I got Jarvan's size right, being a 7-foot human being. You know, no biggie.
7 foot, yeah, we looking like Shaquille O'Neal over here, except with a spear.
Boom. Headshot.
Both junglers elected to start off a red start, which is, I think, the normal now for junglers. You want to have that red to be able to duel the opposing jungler in case you meet them at the Scuttle buff, and starting at red allows you to go to Krugs and then Scuttle for an early level 3, or Scuttle and gank for an early level 2 gank.
Be a fun time. We will have to see which option these junglers choose, as both the lanes they are hovering around now could easily be ganked if they prove to push themselves up too far, but it looks like we're going to see Frontlash taking a pretty normal pathing and just walking back into his top side to go get that blue buff. So we see Maya clearing that Scuttle Crab in the top side jungle.
Yeah, Maya securing that level 3 with that red Krug Scuttle take. And then it looks like Frontlash is trying to avoid the vertical jungling scenario. Maya looks like he's setting up for that level 3 gank mid onto Guy Fieri.
Speaking of which, Maya going in with the Flag and Drag. That's me knock up on Guy Fieri as Hiramar comes in, deals some damage real quick. Guy Fieri can be taken rather low, but walks out completely not completely unscathed, but he's completely okay, and he's just pop both his pots here.
And that's good. That's some good presence of mind by him to not pop hat flash early. That's congratulations to him, realizing he was not in kill pressure.
Yeah, and also very good on him to make sure that he knows the real setup there is going to be the stun from Hiramar. as Symphonian gets Uncle Jemima dangerously low in the top lane. Flash being burned from both players. Uncle Jemima going to get away with a sliver of health, but we see Front Lash coming up through this jungle here. What's the call? Symphonian hovering around, stopping the back. Front Lash showing under turret. Could this be a dive? It looks like we're going to have a dive. Uncle Jemima getting some CS under tower, popping his clone, but it's going to not be enough, and we see First Blood going over to Symphonian. It's Urgot in the top lane.
Yeah, that was really well played by Elise, making sure that they set this Wukong behind so it can never win this lane. And before we turn away from that play, note that Guy Fieri also roamed top, as he does like to move with Front Lash for these plays.
That's a very good presence of mind from their mid laner, ensuring that they will never lose the man advantage. Looking down in bot lane, we see though Jaundice has been traded on a little bit. We've been having some action over here, while we've been seeing some spicy action up here in the top lane.
Yeah, Jaundice definitely taking every advantage he can to display dominance in this lane, even though, in my opinion, I feel like Nihilus and Caitlyn would win these 2v2s unless Tristana gets an incredible bomb. They can just go on this Thresh and make his life a living hell, but John is landing these death sentences and forcing out these trades, keeping his lane afloat here.
Alrighty, Guy Fieri with a huge wave built up at Maye back again with the return gank. Guy Fieri going to flash out and be extremely okay.
Yep. So Maye showing that he wants to punish this mid laner for picking a not really that mobile outside of Satchel champion. However, he does successfully win that gank just by taking a flash. I think that's a good note to viewers that there is a successful gank.
I think personally, I don't know if the flash needed to be blown there. I feel like the only way he would have died is if Hiramar and Maye had synced that gank up perfectly to be able to combo the stun, to be able to combo the flag and drag crowd control and the stun from Hiramar's whatever the heck his Q is called onto him.
No, you were absolutely right. While we were applauding Guy Fieri for holding on to his flash the first gank, he definitely was not under kill threat that second gank. And perhaps just like the tournament setting gets him a little nervous. He doesn't know what else is around him.
Front Lash just saying hi in the bot lane, missing the cocoon real quick. But it's okay. He's making his presence known. Hiramar, though, with some quick trading on Guy Fieri. That's going to be a stun down on him. The Ignite popped. Guy Fieri taking extremely low. Hiramar with the flash icicle, but it is not going to be enough.
Yep. Noting that Guy Fieri doesn't have his flash, he felt he could use his flash advantage and summon advantage in general to take down Guy Fieri real quick, but just shy of the calculation.
Meanwhile, in top lane, Symphonian, level 6 power spike, running in on Uncle Jemima. Uncle Jemima taking extremely low. Symphonian choosing to try and finish this one off with auto attacks, and the second kill going over to Symphonian's Urgot reel. This is definitely some big trouble for this Wukong in top lane.
Yeah, that's rough, and especially because Symphonian decided to go boots or tier 2 boots as his first buy. The fact that he could just beat out Wukong when Wukong had a damage item under his belt during that trade, even though it's just a longsword, means that Urgot really does have this matchup in the belt.
So, two things worth talking about is, first one, with Hiramar's turret dive play. Hiramar perhaps hesitating slightly too much when deciding to flash for that icicle, as it did not actually deal the empowered damage that we get as a result of the stun coming out of his Q. And so, if he had gotten that empowered damage, that definitely would have been a kill. However, the second thing in top lane as well is Symphonian's item choice here, choosing to rush Ninja Tabby on his first back, as Wukong traditionally builds lethality, so it's definitely very good itemization on his part to ensure that this Wukong really won't be damaging at all in this laning phase.
Absolutely, and he has effectively shut out Wukong from any chance of coming
Hiramar
back.
checking out some stuff in the jungle. His front lash ganks him, and that's a terrific ult coming in from Guy Fieri, as Hiramar's egg is going to pop. Guy Fieri coming in here, throwing the bouncing bombs. Wheels on the bus coming down. That's going to be a flash hook from Wheels on the Bus, as Front Lash takes down Hiramar's egg. Flash from Maye. Cataclysm drop. Front Lash going down. Kill going over to Maye, as UTD is finally on the board. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Fudgy all in. Freedom Penguin gonna do tons of damage. Heal from Freedom Penguin pop. Fudgy ulting him, but it's not gonna be enough. Kill going into Fudgy. Meanwhile, Maye coming in bot, and it's gonna be collapse from Jaundice here, as Wheels on the Bus doing the best he can to get Maye out, but the kill's gonna go over to Jaundice. Terrific death sentence coming in from Jaundice, as Symphonian getting another solo kill on Uncle Jemima on the top side. Guy Fieri perhaps overstaying a little long, but he's going to be fine, and Wheels on the Bus is finally gonna be taken down. Kill going over to Guy Fieri.
Wow. Both teams showing the fact that their teams have early game junglers. And if we just completely forget about the top lane for a little bit, because we know the Urgot's going to beat the Wukong, let's just talk about the other 4 lanes going on right here. We see that Don't Ban Poppy's ability to roam their mid laner with their jungler first ended up giving that fight to them.
Just all-out brawls ensuing here in the early game. Each team being very responsive to each other, trying to bring all their members in, trying to take the fight and get an advantage they can, but Maye and Hiramar looking for the cutout. Catch out. Funny did is going to be CC'd up. Killing over to Hiramar very quickly from that ice skull. Frontlash also still stuck in this pit, doing his best to run away. Wheels on the bus can hit him with a terrific hook. Wall drop by Hiramar. Ignite being burned by Hiramar. Kill going over to Maye though, stabbing him with that big 7-1 Shack Spear.
Man, what a terrific presence of mind by Maye to stand on that lantern so that Frontlash couldn't take it out. And then that lantern just eventually timed out. And suddenly Frontlash was stuck in the pit on his own.
Wait, I just realized the Shack analogy is so good, because Jarvan dunks people when he ults. That's so good!
And I want to bring up the fact that UTD actually did not know that they were going to take the dragon, that Don't Ban Poppy was going to take the dragon there, so they just had the call to go there immediately. And with Hiramal's Ignite coming right back up, it was perfect to finish out that fight there. And speaking of vision though, real quick, UTD has decided to focus all of their vision on that bot side jungle. I don't know if it was just because of the recent scuttles and they were just dropping wards that it was leaving, but I would actually imagine it's to track Frontlash so he couldn't punish this bot lane.
There's some very spicy gold differential here. As looking at CS differentials in a lot of lanes, Fudgy Did is sitting on that very spicy 69 farm. Oh, but wait, flash in for Jaundice. Kill going down, all coming out. Guy Fieri, Freedom Penguin gonna be dropped extremely low. Focus on Wheels on the Bus. Terrific death sentence from Jaundice as kill goes over to Fudgy Ditters on Wheels on the Bus. Freedom Penguin gonna be dropped down as well. That's a double kill for Fudgy Ditters off the back of excellent gang setups from Jaundice.
Yeah, well played. Jaundice obviously showing his incredible ability with his Thresh and how comfortable he is. But a big thing to note is how in sync Guy Fieri and Frontlash are when they're making these roam plays together. You almost have not seen Frontlash make a gank without Guy Fieri a few steps behind him.
Just goes to show you, dude. In sync or Backstreet Boys? Looks like DBP chooses in sync.
Thank you for that. As we see the gold plating coming down from bot lane under the remembrance of Don't Ban Poppy.
Rift Hero can be picked up and answer from Maye and Uncle Jemima top lane. Here we see Maye and Uncle Jemima waiting in the wings. Symphonian, what's he got? He's gonna have to run hell quick. Flag and drag coming in from Maye. It's gonna be double ult spot. Symphonian a quick flash out. Meanwhile, bot lane though, Jaundice another kill onto Wheels on the bus. Freedom Penguin dropped extremely low. Oh no, Jaundice going down to the tower, overstaying slightly too much. It's gonna be a kill to Freedom Penguin. But first turret over to Don't Ban Poppy, and Frontlash gonna be jumping on and securing that final kill onto Freedom Penguin.
Yeah, well played by Frontlash and the rest of Don't Ban Poppy to ensure that they get that first tower gold and all 5 plates with both Nautilus and Freedom.
Oh, okay, we're fine.
With Wheels on the Bus and Freedom Penguin not respecting the fact that their 2 champions are only lane dominant champions for now, they decide to walk back into 3 players and they get punished for it, rightfully so.
Yeah, so we were talking about how much this bot lane matchup favored Freedom Penguin and Wheels on the Bus. Maye waiting in the wings. It's going to be a flag and drag out from Maye. Huge CC combo being dropped on the Frontlash as he goes extremely low. Good wall from Hiramar, but Frontlash going to walk out. 25% of his health. He's going to be 11, but that is a successful turret defense from UTD.
Absolutely. And,
Oh, we're fine. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Symphony gonna be going on Uncle Jemima again, and just gonna mow him down with that purge real quick. Urgot doing his best impersonation of Hank Hill on his lawnmower right now.
Okay. while we step away from Symphonian's absolute domination of this this Wukong, I want to discuss the fact that Don't Ban Poppy have secured this early game with these early runs by Frontlash and Guy Fieri. Now we'll have to see if Caitlyn can farm her way back into this game.
It's going to be a harrowing attempt, though. Meanwhile, this top turret getting extremely low, too. And Jaundice with the roam. But Jesus Christ. What the new Urgot purge? Does it just stay active forever?
At rank 9, it is infinite. He is a walking turret.
Has been destroyed.
My
Yeah.
brain hurts.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
My brain actually hurts. just listening to that, dude. Just.
Yeah, and without any diminishing returns on those knees, his damage output in team fights is absolutely berserk.
Something we didn't mention though, this fat Anivia wave clear just drops that glacial swarm down in that mid lane, and Dumpin Poppy really having trouble pushing into that. We see Death Push coming out. Jaundice can be caught out by 4 members, and Jaundice can be going down very quick. Kill going over to Maya. Saw an ult from Guy Fieri. That's gonna be some good damage down onto UTD. Unfortunately, that's likely not gonna matter as UTD perhaps transitioning onto this dragon? Yep, pulling out this dragon. And the rest of Don't Ban Poppy waiting in the wings here, though. Gotta see what they can do to contest this thing. Uncle Jemima, though, waiting in the wings here with the Wukong flanks. They go in. Wheels on the bus dropped extremely low. Maya going into the fight. Oh, it's going down everywhere. First kill going over to Fudgy Ditters. Uncle Jemima chasing down. Fudgy Ditters getting the kill. Meanwhile, though, on the front line, Sinfonian mowing everyone down. He's currently unstoppable, but finally be taken down by Hiramar. Uncle Jemima, Burning Cyclone going on Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri, what can he do? Can he get out of this one? No, he won't. That's going to be a triple kill to Hiramar. As we see this dragon fight slanting definitely to the side of UTD. And this dragon might be taken down here by Uncle Jemima and Hiramar.
A 3 for 4 for the side of Uno Truco Dominos puts them back into this game in addition to that Ocean Drake. What a great play by them to pick off Jaundice, the playmaker, and this backbone of...
During this dragon, Jaundice coming in, big flash. Burns the ignite on the clone, though, and Uncle Jemima escaping with his life. Dragon going over to secured by front lash there. Hiramar, good wall to escape front lash. Jaundice, but wait. Jaundice scans his ward, thrown down. Cocoon goes wide from front lash, and just gonna walk off and reset. Rift Herald blown mid. Another hook from Jaundice goes wide though. Hiramar with this Glacial Storm. Ult being thrown out there by Guy Fieri. Oh no, Shelly! Shelly's struggling. Shelly's not having a good time today.
Yeah, Shelly definitely just ran out of time on Jarvan there, so he just dropped it before he couldn't summon it anymore.
No, wave clear is good, but when your wave clear is 10% health, not much you can do about this. Huge push coming in right now from Don't Ban Poppy. Sinfonian waiting in the wings here, zoning off both Maya and Freedom Penguin as they're looking to siege up another turret. Hiramar going to be dropped down. That's going to be his resurrection passive.
Yeah, and this is a great variant of what happens when an unstoppable force meets a unbreakable wall, with Anivia's wave clear preventing any 5-man sieges, even though we have 2 of the game's best sieging champions in Ziggs and Tristana on the side of Don't Ban Poppy.
And Anivia with that blue buff, there's basically nothing you were doing to siege into that, short of, oh wait, great wall from Hiramar. Guy Fieri caught out here. Q coming in from Hiramar, that's going to stun Guy Fieri, but nothing else going to happen. Bouncing bombs being thrown out for wave clear here. And it looks like UTD, do they fancy a collapse? Sinfonian, perhaps a little... he's fine. Meanwhile, though, Jaundice locked up in Hiramar's storm, and Jaundice will be drawn extremely low as another fight breaks out. Tons of people trapped in that storm, tons of people CC. That's going to be a double kill for Guy Fieri. Maya going in on Fudgy Ditters here. Freedom Penguin dropping him extremely low. Kill goes over to Hiramar. Flash out from Freedom Penguin. Sinfonian's over here. Front lash dropping Maya extremely low. And that's going to be a kill going over to Sinfonian on Freedom Penguin right there. Hiramar doing his best to clear out this mid wave right here. But he's unfortunately out of mana, and Don't Ban Poppy about to mow down this tier 2 turret here with this infinite turret Urgot. Bing, 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 bing. That's a 4th turret over to Don't Ban Poppy over here.
Absolutely. And even though Jaundice was caught in that blizzard earlier, putting 2 of Uno Troco Demonios' champions inside for both Ziggs and Tristana just AoE them down, cost them 2 champions right away, ultimately losing them the fight.
Yeah, dude, that's what I get for eating bolognese mid-fight. Honestly, that was a mistake. Never again.
Well, both teams seem to have this go 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 personality to their team comps, so we'll see how UTD can pull back from this.
No, we were talking about that Conqueror got earlier, but Sinfonian has indeed elected for the press the attack over here. Jaundice keeping this wave nice and ready for Fudgy Ditters' little Tristana pause over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they hands? Are they paws? What? I think they're hands. They're probably hands.
Hey, holding a dragon. Can you really hold a dragon with hands? I'm not sure how that works.
Can you hold a dragon with paws? I think you can hold them with the hands better.
That's fair. I'm gonna need you to pause there. Take a break.
Oh my god. Alright.
Speaking of taking a break, both teams finally have a lull in the action as they decide how to move into this mid-game to late-game transition.
By lull in the action, you mean Anivia's pressing R again, don't you? I love it.
It's actually a terrific skin by Anivia. She has some
love that
incredible skins, though.
Front lash can be saying hi over here. Jaundice waiting over this wall. Gonna be throwing a hook. Terrific hook in the Freedom Penguin, but not gonna take it. Just playing Wheels on the Bus and Flashburn from Wheels on the Bus. And they get more. This will be a terrific Mega Inferno Bomb from Guy Fieri. Kill being secured on Wheels on the Bus. Another terrific hook from Jaundice. Freedom Penguin being brought down. Kill goes over to Front Lash.
Ooh. I think a big factor in this game right now is not specifically Wheels on the Bus, but the fact that Nautilus has to win lane to become useful in the mid-game. And the fact that they got crushed in lane just has them as a walking ward right now with an ult button. So unless they can find a way to use that to get a pick, they're going to have a rough time trying to take on these team fights.
Yeah, it's like having that Nautilus being tankier on average than Thresh is nice, but it's too bad Thresh is up in gold and items right now. So able to achieve usually the same level of tankiness in general, especially with that scaling on his passive from the souls. And that just means that Nautilus is just a worse version of Thresh at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not have said it better myself. We'll see if DBP decides to dial things back, take some major objectives now that they've rushed down these second-tier turrets with their Tristana and Ziggs advantage. Both teams electing to go towards this dragon as DBP clears out this vision in their favor.
And, bringing up these CS totals once again. The CS totals actually for this entire game is Symphonian goes in on Uncle Jemima are actually pretty low, but ooh, Mega Inferno Bomb coming from Guy Fieri. It's made some damage dealt to Freedom Penguin. Threat being secured by Front Lash here. Great boy from Jaundice. Flash being burned by Maya to escape the death sentence. Man, let me tell you, Jaundice writing a death paragraph this game, bro. He's got a death novella at this point, honestly.
Jaundice is definitely showing his promise on this Thresh, showing really just his skill on it, and dominating the game as a result. Now I think UTD really has to take a breath here, not tilt from how far behind they are, and start setting up plays instead of just responding.
Good blast cone over the wall from Jaundice. Another play coming in again on Maya's Flag and Drag, and that's going to be the Fear Beyond Deaths coming in for Symphonian on Maya. Kill going over. So does that make it a Fear Beyond Death sentence or a Fear Beyond Death paragraph?
Well said. Well said. We have to see. I think one habit the teams really fall back on when they're losing is not picking up wards or dropping those base items for pink wards. Because really the only way you're going to come back when you're this far behind is to set up vision and to take these picks.
100% agree. I feel like the vision game at times doesn't get enough respect. But hold that. I'm going to hold that thought because this Baron is being started up right now by Don't Pan Poppy. Could be seeing a contest coming out. Like Inferno Bomb. He's like, oh my god, Baron steal with the Peacemaker from Freedom Penguin. Yeah, press the smite button there. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm missing ping in my jungle right now. I don't know about you.
That was absolutely, that's like one of those 1 in 100 games when you get that Peacemaker steal and you just feel like you saved the game. And ultimately she might have right there.
Honestly, dude. Rolling 1 in a million, breaking out the Dungeons and Dragons 20-sided die. Devil's going down to Georgia and he got himself a Baron buff. Holy moly.
Unfortunately, I don't know how much that's going to slow down Don't Ban Poppy with this Ziggs and Tristana pressure. Double abilities that damage these towers.
Yeah, this tower's melting.
Yeah, it means that one Anivia might not be able to stop at all.
Good death sentence from Jaundice onto Hiramar. It's gonna be the CC combo. Hiramar products force the flash out. Massive fight. Great cycling from Uncle Jemima. They're going in. Don't fan Poppy brought extremely low. Ult coming out from Guy Fieri here. Front lash going to be dove on and kill. Double kill going over to Wheels on the bus in that fight. And here's the turn they wanted. Uncle Jemima picking up Jaundice on the side. And Guy Fieri forced to run for his life. Finally, Don't Ban Poppy perhaps taking the slight overextension. And that is the fight, the wombo that UTD was looking for the entire time.
That's exactly what's going through my mind. UTD finally gets that Jarvan Wukong combo that they've been dreaming of since the champion select screen. And that puts them right back in this game. And with this Baron buff, they're going to do some resetting damage to the side of Don't Ban Poppy.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Tons of turrets. Yeah, we're going to start to see some of these outer turrets being dropped with this Baron buff. And UTD finally within a 3,000 gold. Finally within the 3,000 gold deficit range, and definitely look to see what they can do with this now that they are in a position of perhaps tenuous control over this game with this Baron buff.
Absolutely. Also, something to note, even though Hiramar got Death Sentence and Flayed and perfectly dropped into the team of Don't Ban Poppy, he didn't even lose the egg there. So he still has that for the next fight. Paired with that Zanya's, he makes the perfect bait to set up these fights.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The very defensive itemization coming out here from Hiram are going to be key in these next team fights. Wait, Symphonian found Maya. Black and Drag combo going wide, and Symphonian going to be tagged, bagged, and dragged over to Jaundice's Flay. As that kill going over to Jaundice. Wheels on the bus, also going to be CC'd, and that's the flash coming in. Fear Beyond Death coming out. Kill going over to Symphonian as Hiramar picks up Jaundice with Glacial Storm. But meanwhile, Fudgy Ditter's killing Uncle Jemima on the side. But has he overstepped his bounds? Hiramar with a massive combo, blowing up Fudgy Ditters immediately with that aggressive rocket jump.
Yeah, and right away we see the punish of not buying pink wards when you're behind. You can't farm if you don't have vision. If there's anything to take away from losing a game, that's what we need to see. Especially if you're a team that depends on fighting 5v5, you need to set up this vision before you take these fights, because you don't want to be taking these 1v1 duels into a team that's already stronger than you. You're not going to outmatch them in items. You have to do it with numbers.
I 100% agree. See this Infernal Drake started up here for Don't Ban Poppy. Contest going in. Front lash going to secure this Drake. But all of UTD sitting in the pit. Guy Fieri going to flash out. Maya going in. As he wanted, he does not. Look at Jemima, Freedom Penguin, and Hiramar on the left side looking for this engage over here. But it's going to be stuffed by Symphonian's massive shotgun knees.
Yeah, and the fact that he's overbuffed. You know how Kale reaches God mode at 16? Urgot just reaches it at level 9.
9, yeah. Man, I love Urgot, dude. I'm glad he's back in an even more stupid way than he was previously.
It's just absurd now. Like, oh, I can't wait to see a whole patch of this. Good times.
Like, you know, the previous Urgot was just like annoying to play against, but like terrific wall coming in from Hiramar. Jaundice perhaps too far up, caught out. Kill going over to Hiramar. Hiramar now sitting legendary 8-1 and 4 on this Anivia. These double. Well, meanwhile, Symphonian chilling top lane, gonna get caught out by 3 of them. Kill going over to Maya.
Wow. There we see the weakness of the shield moving on to the E, as he only has 2 points in this E, so he only gets the shield at most once or twice a fight. And all the damage in the world can't save you if you can't sustain through it all.
And Maya taking that bouncing bomb, drop extremely low, but he's gonna walk out. He's gonna be okay in the end.
Something to think about. Now that Urgot has this infinite purge, I wonder if we'll start seeing more Hurricane build variants on Urgot.
I don't know about that one, but I know that's coming soon to an Airy Jarvan solo queue game near you.
You know it.
It's almost as good as Vayne Zyra bot.
Honestly, I still can't see how that lane fails. Hey, vote.
There's no way, dude.
Vote for Vitalis and Legends MK for All-Star Game so that you can see Vayne Zyra in the bot lane.
Yeah, we're both on there for jungle, but vote us both in, and we're going Vayne Zyra bot.
Absolutely.
I mean, we could go Vayne Zyra jungle, though.
Yeah, just against each other. Perfect.
Yeah, dude, it's genius. I'm taking Zyra though.
No,
It'd be great, dude. Be such a
that
champion.
clears OP.
Wait, Wheels on the bus, quick hook into Jaundice, gonna be CC'd up though. Jaundice forces to pop his ult to run. Uncle Jemima flashing over the wall, great cyclone combo on Guy Fieri. Maye taking down Fudgy Ditters on the side though. Symphonian being dropped extremely low, hook going in. And that's gonna be the kill going over front lash though, taking down Uncle Jemima on the right side of this fight as Hirmar pushing into this jungle. But this corridor control from Guy Fieri, very dangerous to push into. Front lash fighting Cocoon over here. Everyone's gonna be safe. Maye Flag and Dragon over this wall. Jaundice hovering in this mid, looking for more.
Yeah, there seemed to be a massive focus differential during that fight. Ironically, Don't Ban Poppy wants to fight these 1v1s, but somehow UTD won their 1v1s with Maye taking out Fudgy Ditters off to the side, while Uncle Jemima zoned 3 players on his own.
I think Don't Ban Poppy having some focus issues as well and some positioning issues in this fight, so having trouble focusing these kills. And when they're getting these 1v1s in place, it's because people are breaking off in order to escape this massive team fight damage dropped by Don't Ban Poppy, and they've already dropped the damage, so people like Front Lash and Symphonian are just cleaning people up on the side. But at the same time, also, perhaps Don't Ban Poppy not necessarily dropping enough damage down on the side in order to finalize the kills.
Yeah, especially with Fudgy Ditters going down, even though he's already at that 4-item power spike. I feel like they just have to spend a little more time protecting him. Symphonian did choose to go that more tanky route on Urgot, not knowing that his scaling for his shield could be better with just flat AD. Or maybe he knows something I don't, abusing that 0.2 scaling from health instead.
He's got the BF sword though.
Oh, that's true.
Going coming out.
Yeah.
I honestly go like, I honestly think the Hail could be fine with Gargoyles. Looking for Jaundice coming into Maye though. Great bomb from Guy Fieri coming in here. More forced Zanyas though. John is going to be brought down on the side. Ult from Symphonian flashed out by Hirmar. Symphonian looking for the engage. Going in. Front lash walking on a Caitlyn track. Being dropped extremely low as we can see a split side spike being dropped. Wheels on the bus taking it extremely low. Kill getting over the front lash. Fudgy Ditters going in. Flashing over the wall. Baited by the Anivia passive. And he's going to be dropped immediately by Uncle Jemima and company. Hirmar resurrecting but dropped so low so fast. Kill going over to Symphonian here.
That was incredibly well played by UTD, even though they ended up losing the fight 3-for-2. The fact that they burnt so many summoners to preserve Hirmar's egg made it look like he didn't even have egg. And ultimately, Fudgy Ditters had the same thought, and he decided he'd go in there, get that kill, get the reset, and just jump out.
Yeah, it started out awful, and then it progressively got better. But unfortunately, it's not enough to stop Guy Fieri and Front Lash from Hank Helen down this mid turret here. And Symphonia just chilling on this top side. Get that turret down extremely low here.
Absolutely. UTD definitely needs to start orchestrating these fights rather than just walking into them and hoping for the best, as their team fight comp does require them to have a setup. Whereas Don't Ban Poppy just wants to keep causing these scraps so that UTD doesn't have time to gather their thoughts.
Maye face checking. He's going to encounter 4 of them. CC comboed up, locked down. Be taken down by Guy Fieri, but wait, the fight's going on, and it's a front to back. Is this what UTD wants? Symphony gonna be out extremely low, however, Front Lash securing this dragon. UTD right now on the retreat, and the corridor control from Hirmar coming out here. Massive damage. Hirmar taking down Fudgy Ditters. Uncle Jemima, great cyclone going in. Fear Beyond Death dropped by Symphony, and return kill going on Uncle Jemima. However, Hirmar is cleaning up. UTD laying chase down. Jaundice and Symphony running for their lives. Going to be brought extremely low, but they got it back to take care of their base.
Yeah, definitely during these team fights, I think both teams could really use an external voice just telling them who to focus down. As abilities go every which way, everybody else gets one ult off on a different person. We just see these incredibly messy fights happen from both sides.
Yeah, not even necessarily a focusing priority. They just need someone. They just need someone telling them how to play the fight. I think Don't Ban Poppy should perhaps be kiting back much more than they should, and especially when they get engaged, especially when these scrappy fights are being taken, you're seeing them open up with picks on the people being caught out, such as Maye and sometimes Hirmar, but even with those picks, it's still not enough to finalize the fights because of the front-to-back advantage that UTD has.
Oh, absolutely. And without recognizing that fact, this game may slip away from them as Front Lash does transition to the late game. But he does start to pick up some health AP items to become that sort of frontline AP champion that they need out of him.
Meanwhile, though, Don't Ban Poppy sitting on 5 Drakes. This could be a massive Elder Drake spite we're looking at here, and next Drake up gonna be Elder as well. 3 Oceans, 2 Infernals. You get a Baron buff with that bad boy. The siege is amazing.
Absolutely, and this amazing vision control coming out of Don't Ban Poppy to make sure that they can orchestrate this Baron fight to themselves. But they seem to have missed that control ward in the backside of Baron, or maybe they just choose not to clear it for now, as they force out more vision. Also, with the Urgot buff, the Infinite Purge just means he is a ward clearing machine.
Orchestration's so clean, it's looking like Beethoven out here.
As they right there, 9th. We can see perhaps the final team fight coming up for this game.
This Baron gonna be a very contentious objective indeed. Both teams know this is be absolutely vital to closing out this game, as here Mars and Nivea can just wave clear for days without the support of this Baron buff on side of Don't Ban Poppy.
Absolutely. And we'll see that Don't Ban Poppy starts the Baron, so now this gives UTD a moment to orchestrate how they want to do this fight. But Baron's dropping very quickly, and they have to pull the trigger soon.
Yeah, Frontlash and Fudgy able to duo this Baron up entirely with 3 members zoning in the corridor from Guy Fieri. Corridor control coming out from Guy Fieri their fight. That's really nothing that UTD can do against that unless they wanted to force an engage, and unfortunately they weren't in position to do so. Guy Fieri walking through the jungle, be caught out by Maye, popping his Zanya's. Good hook from Jaundice going in on to Maye. Here are going to finalize the kill on Guy Fieri though, and it's another scrappy-doo. Uncle Jemima with a massive Cyclone combo, but he's being dropped immediately by Fudgy Ditters. Wheels on the bus. Weird wall interaction there actually. But meanwhile, that's Scrap Central. Wheels on the bus, Fudgy Ditters running in. Fudgy Ditters gonna be caught, dropped extremely low, forced to pop a stopwatch. Hiramar and Freedom Penguin mowing down deeps on the back line though. And Symphonian gonna go down to Freedom Penguin. Good dodge out by Frontlash on that kill shot from Freedom Penguin.
And that's the
scrappy fight.
That's exactly the fight UTD wants. As the fight gets longer and longer, their damage from Caitlyn and Nivea just ultimately win this, as all of Guy Fieri's damage is up front unless they kite back. Also, Uncle Jemima getting a terrific 2 to 3 man knockup with that Wukong ultimate secures them that that CC during that fight.
Yeah, that farm and turret disadvantage playing against him in that fight though. Can't wait to see what happens if he decides to actually, once he gets to the point of 6 items, where he can actually start to pick up some start to pick up some tank items here. And disrespect coming out of Don't Ban Poppy against those corridor fights there might prove to be deadly. His Frontlash catches out Maye in the jungle. Maye brought down to about half. Mega Inferno Bomb coming out from Guy Fieri, but it's gonna miss, and Maye just gonna back. Meanwhile,
yeah, we're already seeing how far Elise has fallen off during this game, as during the earlier mid game that combo would have killed Jarvan, but now as more health items come packed onto that champion, Elise now starts to become this stun bot.
Bust can be caught up there by an Elise Cocoon, but he's gonna be fine. And this Elder Drake here gonna be started up by Don't Ban Poppy. This is very scary. It plays right into the hands of what UTD's looking for as a team fight. Bot the turn coming out. Jaundice found Wheels on the bus. That's gonna be a kill going over Symphonian. Meanwhile, though, Uncle Jemima on the left side. This fight is a slobber knocker. Maye going in the middle for them. Brought down by Frontlash. Uncle Jemima popping to Cyclone. See what he can do. Jaundice on the left side. Brought down. Kill going over to Uncle Jemima here. Fudgy Ditters stuck on the backside, very low health. Kill shot going on the front left, not going to be enough. Symphonian wants to run away. Great fear beyond death. Drags in Uncle Jemima and kills him. Triumph buffs. Hiramar brought extremely low. Will it be enough? No, it will not. But wait, the Spiderling. Hiramar popping his Ceres, though. He'll be safe. Freedom Penguin, though, doing what he can. Flashes, but the auto won't crit, and Fudgy Ditters will escape with his life. That is going to be a 4-for-1 in favor of Don't Ban Poppy.
Yeah, and as the caster curse comes out, or if somebody is watching this stream, Don't Ban Poppy played that fight terrifically. They were getting pinched, so both of their carries kited backwards, and eventually they just kited down Maye, kited down Uncle Jemima, and they just couldn't win afterwards.
Unfortunately, that front line on the side of UTD consisting almost entirely of Maya and Wheels on the Bus at this point. Wheels on the Bus already started that fight low, and UTD, looking for the front to back, did not actually get to close all their members in on each other as a result of that corridor. And then taking two opposite sides of the corridor means that as John just called the turn from Dragon, he was able to find an easy target onto Wheels on the Bus and finalize that kill before the fight even started, and give them the ability to kite around and not give UTD the front to back fight they wanted, transitioning into that river area.
Absolutely. And brilliantly played by Don't Ban Poppy gives them that Elder Drake, and now we can see how the only way for UTD to come back into this game is get a full front to back fight in a lane or in a tiny corridor with Anivia's Blizzard raining hell upon everybody.
Honestly, though, 5 Drake Elder, I don't even think a front to back. 5 Drake Elder in this gold differential, I don't even think front to back does it at this point. They're just gonna kill everything. Like, someone Don't Ban Poppy is gonna have to get caught in Hiramar wall here, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
This is dire straits for UTD right now, but we'll see what they can do. Good news for them, though, is Don't Ban Poppy doesn't have a Baron buff right now, so at least Hiramar can wave clear. And that'll be key to stalling out this Elder Drake buff. So you absolutely do not want to fight this right now. And these traps for the anti-siege coming down from Freedom Penguin, but Guy Fieri's Satchel Charge can be blowing up that turret almost immediately.
Ooh, just dodging that bomb.
Switching onto that mid inhibitor there, Uncle Jemima going and comboing. But, right. Meanwhile, John is caught by the wall combo from Hiramar, and he'll go over to Hiramar there. It's gonna be Jaundis's life traded for some inhibs. Hiramar dropped extremely low in the mid lane though, and Symphonian barely missing that Fear Beyond Death means Hiramar's gonna escape with his life, and he's gonna walk around a little bit before he backs. You know, just seeing the sights. Just
make sure he's not getting hit by bombs, I suppose, avoiding those bouncing bombs from Guy Fieri. But all things considered, that was actually a great result from the side of UTD. I think 60 or 70% of the time, they actually just lose the game in that scenario when they're being pushed down with 10 dragon buffs on them with 2 huge siegers. So the fact that they were able to catch somebody out and only lose 1 inhibitor but get another one back is actually terrific.
Yeah, Don't Ban Poppy looking pretty good early on, but some slop, like some sloppiness, honestly, coming out right now. It was complimenting Jaundice very much on his mid gameplay, and he's definitely had some great late game moments as well. But I don't think he's entirely aware of just how squishy his thresh is at this point in time.
Yep, with not being able to have that huge front line that UTD does have. As they scale into these 6-item champions, they can no longer afford to just run into UTD.
Not to necessarily put all of the blame or any of it squarely on Jaundice right there, though, as some other players definitely having some small positioning, and all around the board, I think it's just a patience issue.
Absolutely. But if we look at these items, Symphonian has reached that auto turret status as he has hit all 6 items with the Guardian Angel online for this last fight coming up.
Man, I'm so excited to see this Urgot now in team fights. I can't wait.
It's sickening. He built full tank too, and it's still going to be ridiculous amounts of damage.
Go mow him down, bro.
Yep. 8% max health damage per shotgun knee with no diminishing returns.
Pretty good game, dude.
Right.
It's like the Twitch drive-by subscriber.
Yeah. And then that's not including the AD scaling that's also on his shotgun knees. Good times, good times.
So looking back, what do you think? Don't Ban Poppy needs to do? Oh, hold on. Wheels on the Bus looking for an engage. Maya getting caught up on the right side. Jaundice though going to be dropped extremely low. Not a soul dropped on the Guy Fieri in the back line. Good walls from Hiramar, and the engage is going to find no one. That's Maya dropped extremely low. And the depth charge being blown from Wheels on the Bus as the inhib goes down to the Baron buff Don't Ban Poppy squad. They're looking to siege this up. Good hook on the Guy Fieri from Wheels on the Bus. Can they find anything? Maya going in. Good flash out from Guy Fieri. Good depth sentence onto Maya, and that's going to be it. 2 dropped. Immediately Symphonian going down on the top left side though. Uncle Jemima seeing what he can do. Great ult from Pudgy Jitters to save himself there. Meanwhile, though, Frontlash is kind of chilling there. Gets dropped by Hiramar. Hiramar going golden mode. Symphonia and the good Fear Beyond Death, but gets dropped. And Fudgy Ditter's now going to force to run for his life, but he's on a Caitlyn trap as he resurrects, and he's just going to die. Jemima doing what he can. Guy Fieri going to be dropped by Uncle Jemima. Miramar and Freedom Penguin cleaning up these minions at the Nexus. The UTD is going to clutch that fight by the skin of their teeth. It's a 3 for 4.
Wow. And I think the question we're going to ask is, what does Don't Ban Poppy have to do to close out this game? And they had the right play there. They put Symphony in a side lane with his incredibly tanky self and his ability to 1v1 anybody, and they put 4 people in another lane. All they had to do is walk up with those 4 people, slam a ward well in the back, so that if UTD does engage on them, Symphonian teleports in and becomes that incredible front line with these massive tank items that he has, allowing Guy Fieri and Fudgy Ditters to just take out everybody else while they focus on him. But without putting down that ward, he had nowhere to teleport, and they had to just walk his butt there and take that fight messily.
So that gives UTD a little bit of breathing room, and importantly, 3 waves of super minions to farm up so they can finally get some of those important items on Uncle Jemima and Maye that perhaps they've been missing for most of these team fights. But the drastic downside to that, though, is that almost guarantees that Elder Dragon's going Don't Ban Poppy's way, short of a miracle steal by Maye. And even if they get that steal, Maye's probably going to die for it.
Yeah, I absolutely think Maya should not be there. If he dies for this Elder Steal, even if he gets the Elder Steal and dies, his team loses the game. So his team either all shows up there and takes the fight outside of their base, or they don't go at all.
Gonna go in. That's gonna be the drag going over to front lash. Maya gonna be mowed down. Kill going over to Fudgy Ditters.
And now without Maya, they can't even bank on the team fight. I think that was a lose-lose option by Maya there, but that's something that you have to analyze after the game.
Very true. And take a look at these death totals here. Everyone's getting really high on this death count this game, except for Hiramar and Guy Fieri, and Symphonian to a certain extent as well.
Yeah, and in chat we...
Ooh, massive damage drop from Guy Fieri here. Great ult. And flash in from Symphony. Gonna be dropping Freedom Penguin's Guardian Angel here. Uncle Jemima looking for the cloning gauge. Gonna get CC'd up. Kill going over to Fudgy Ditters. And they're on the Nexus as Don't Ban Poppy mowing down everyone and takes game 1.
Wow. What an incredible game to watch for that first game. I think UTD definitely has to clean up how they want to take these fights, and Maya definitely needs to talk to his team about his ideas and plays and maybe figure them out together. He always seems to be a couple steps ahead of his teammates when he chooses to go in.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And on the side of Don't Ban Poppy, thank God that pressure that they put on with that late game Ziggs comp proving to work out in the end for them. But I also think from the side of Don't Ban Poppy, you can see a little bit more perhaps clean, patient play, and next game could prove to be even more lopsided if they chose to display that.
Absolutely. And if it weren't for that early game advantage that Frontlash and Guy Fieri displayed, I don't think this game would have gone so cleanly towards Don't Ban Poppy in the end.
I am inclined to agree with you. That being said, though, some compliments have to be dished out here, and I'm looking at the amazing siege potential and some key ultimates coming out of Guy Fieri here. There's amazing death sentences coming out of Jaundice throughout the mid game, and Symphonian being a beefy Urgot boy here, very tough to damage that.
Yeah, while Symphonian did dominate Wukong in the top, if we're looking for an MVP, and I know that's where this conversation is going to go, I'm sorry if I'm jumping the gun here.
Don't worry.
I'd have to give it to Jaundice. I think those plays that he made with those death sentences and these amazing flays just kept his team. He was the backbone for his team to win these fights.
I 100% agree. Perhaps playing too far for his team to win these fights. Maybe a couple positional mishaps on his part. Definitely very high death count, but you cannot deny the effectiveness that his positional eyes have here in finding these key death sentences when it really counts.
Absolutely. But definitely, if we could give out runner-up awards or participation trophies for MVP, I'd have to give one. I mean, of course, you have to give one to Symphonium for showing his dominance and just controlling the 1v1 lane. But I would actually give that second trophy to Frontlash, controlling that early game and just rotating constantly and maybe getting 6 or 7 ganks off before we even could shift into the mid game and making sure that turret went down secured that early game for his team, allowing them to smoothly transition to the mid to late game.
You got a straw poll?
No. I don't
I'll make a
even know how to
straw
make
poll. I'll make
Okay.
a straw poll.
I gotta go get a bang.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, and quick update. We'll be taking a short break here on the caster desk. I will be getting the straw poll out to this chat forthwith here. Just give me a couple seconds. See you guys in a little bit.
Are we no longer live?